I used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. If women ran the world, we wouldn't have wars. Just intense negotiations every 28 days. Never pick a fight with an ugly person. They've got nothing to lose. What's right is what's left if you do everything else wrong. Canada is like a loft apartment over a really great party. I'm sorry, if you were right, I'd agree with you. Spring is nature's way of saying, let's party. Reality is just a crutch for people who can't cope with drugs. For me, comedy starts as a spew, a kind of explosion. And then you sculpt it from there, if at all. It comes out of a deeper, darker side. Maybe it comes from anger. Because I'm outraged by cruel absurdities, the hypocrisy that exists everywhere. Even within yourself, where it's hardest to see. Why do they call it rush hour when nothing moves? People say satire is dead. It's not dead. It's alive and living in the White House. Reality, what a concept. Comedy can be a cathartic way to deal with personal trauma. Do I perform sometimes in a manic style? Yes. Am I manic all the time? No. Do I get sad? Oh yeah. Does it hit me hard? Oh yeah. The Second Amendment says we have the right to bear arms, not to bear artillery. I like my wine like my women, ready to pass out. Being in the same room with people and creating something together is a good thing. With film roles, it just has to be a character either I haven't done before, or a role with somebody really interesting, or with an interesting person or group of people. Cricket is basically baseball on Valium. If heaven exists, to know that there's laughter, that would be a great thing. Divorce is expensive. I used to joke they were going to call it all the money, but they changed it to alimony. It's ripping your heart out through your wallet. If it's the psychic network, why do they need a phone number? Look at the walls of Pompeii. That's what got the internet started. The essential truth is that sometimes you're worried that they'll find out it's a fluke, that you don't really have it. You've lost the muse, or, the worst dread, you never had it at all. I went through all that madness early on. When Jonathan Winters died, it was like, oh, man. I knew he was frail, but I always thought he was going to last longer. I knew him as being really funny, but at the same time, he had a dark side. Sometimes over things that I did. Movies that didn't turn out very well, you go, why did you do that? But in the end, I can't regret them because I met amazing people. There was always something that was worth it. I think it's great when stories are dark and strange, and weirdly personal. Carpe diem, seize the check. One of my favorite actors of all time, although he doesn't necessarily play villains, is Peter Lorre. I basically started performing for my mother, going, love me? What drives you to perform is the need for that primal connection. When I was little, my mother was funny with me, and I started to be charming and funny for her, and I learned that by being entertaining, you make a connection with another person. Comedy is acting out optimism. My mother's idea of natural childbirth was giving birth without makeup. She was hyperpositive, the world is a wonderful place. Rainbows and unicorns. If you said anything contrary to her, you were basically exiled. We had gay burglars the other night. They broke in and rearranged the furniture. I don't do well with snakes and I can't dance. Politics is so personal, vicious and immediate. How are you going to get anything done? Even the local politics where I live have gotten so ugly. A woman would never make a nuclear bomb. They would never make a weapon that kills. No. They'd make a weapon that makes you feel bad for a while. I do believe in love. It's wonderful, especially love third time around. It's even more precious. It's kind of amazing. The Statue of Liberty is no longer saying, "Give me your poor. You're tired, you're huddled masses." She's got a baseball bat and yelling, "You want a piece of me." Gentiles are people who eat mayonnaise for no reason. I don't have a college degree. And my father didn't have a college degree, so when my son, Thackeray, graduated from college, I said, "My boy's got learnin'." Okra is the closest thing to nylon I've ever eaten. It's like they bred cotton with a green bean. Okra tastes like snot. The more you cook it, the more it turns into string. Having George W. Bush giving a lecture on business ethics is like having a leopard give you a facial. It just doesn't work. I bought one of the first Nintendo systems and brought that home. And we were playing Legend of Zelda at the time, and it was addicting. And I was playing it for hours and hours and hours. When you look at Prince Charles, don't you think that someone in the royal family knew someone in the royal family? A lot of vets like "Good Morning Vietnam." I get great letters from guys. I believe Ronald Reagan can make this country what it once was, a large Arctic region covered with ice. The idea of having a steady job is appealing. We've had cloning in the South for years. It's called cousins. The Aladdin thing, that's not work, that's just fun. 3 days in the recording studio going mad, then the animators do all the work. Not a bad way to cash a large check, my friend. The Russians love Brooke Shields because her eyebrows remind them of Leonid Brezhnev. It's hard when you read an article saying bad things about you. It is as if someone is sticking a knife on your heart, but I am the harshest critic of my work. I met Nelson Mandela, and I really didn't know what to say. It was years ago at a benefit. I was just in awe of this man because of what he'd done. I'm much more open to being a supporting actor right now. At the age of 60, I'll be second fiddle. Fine, I'm happy to do it. When I went home from Juilliard, I couldn't find acting work. You can start any Monty Python routine, and people finish it for you. Everyone knows it like shorthand. I've had a lot of people tell me they watched Old Dogs with their kids and had a good time. Winning an Oscar is an honor, but between you and me, it does not make things easier. The idea of Juilliard was that it would give you this toolbox full of skills that you could take with you and apply to anything. Robin Williams was an American actor and comedian who gained worldwide recognition for his exceptional talent and versatility. He was known for his quick wit, improvisational skills, and ability to seamlessly transition between comedic and dramatic roles. Williams starred in numerous beloved films, including Good Will Hunting, Dead Poets Society, and Mrs. Doubtfire. His performances often brought laughter and tears to audiences, showcasing his ability to captivate and deeply touch people's emotions. In addition to his successful acting career, Williams was also involved in philanthropic work and used his platform to support various charitable causes. His untimely death in 2014 left a significant void in the entertainment industry, but his legacy as a gifted entertainer and compassionate individual lives on.